Here we fucking go! You're listening to Bread and Circuses.
It's like the mob media, for one, is the entire world populated. Like, everybody's on Twitter. Fucking the UK is on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
unfortunately.
With Caleb Salvatore.
Well, they can't. They can't go to the comedy shows because there's a 2-drink minimum, and you can't mix the Percocet you've been stealing from work with liquor.
And Nick Kohler.
There literally be people in the fucking 80s that didn't know that nutting in a girl would make her pregnant.
No one's asked that question. What did those families do to provoke Alex Jones like that?
You know what'll solve all of these racial police protests? A Pepsi.
What the fuck is up, friends? Welcome to Bread and Circuses. We're back. We're back.
And we went on like a 3-week hiatus there.
It's like a month. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. We had life going on, and then Nick is sick. He's got the fake COVID.
Yeah, I caught the actual COVID. I caught the flu.
Yeah, he caught what it actually is.
Yeah. Though I was like looking up like flu, you know, just being the old Google doctor, but I was like, look, the main difference it seems like between a cold and a flu is that like your eyes really hurt. You have a headache when you have a flu as opposed to a cold. So
yeah. No,
I don't know.
I get that. Dude, yeah, I was just telling you, I'm sick. The shit's going around, man.
Dude, around here, all the stores are all cleaned out of like the children's Motrin and Tylenol, dude. They're just cleaned out.
Pedialyte and all that shit's gone, man.
Yeah, it's just cleaned out all the fever reducer.
It really, it's seriously like it sucks, but it's like we know this is coming every year, you know.
Yeah,
so,
right. I've never actually had the flu before, so
really?
this is like a new experience for me, dude.
I had, I think I told it on this show, I had one year I caught bronchitis, and then like a week later, like a week after I recovered from bronchitis, I got the flu.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, like, I think both of them on their own I would have been fine, but it was the fact that my immune system was already taking a fucking ass beating.
Yeah.
I was legit concerned that flu was gonna kill me. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, do I need to go to the ER right now? But
yeah, dude, the flu is no joke, man. Like, I don't think I've ran a higher fever than like yesterday. Like, I straight up had like a 105 fever like all day, dude.
Like ER.
I know, man. I know.
That's
luckily I took some like, you know, Tylenol and like it went down. I was like, god damn, dude. Like,
yeah, that's like, what is it, like 103? You're supposed to go to the ER.
I thought it was 106, but if it's past 103, then rip. I guess I should have gone to the hospital.
No, I've never had a temperature that bad. I've had I mean, I had it bad when I was a kid, but like the worst like temperature I've had as an adult was probably like 101, 102.
Yeah,
it's just like frustrating. Like, you cannot break it to save your life kind of situation.
Yeah, that's what mine's running at, like with Annie or with like Tylenol and ibuprofen running through me right now. I'm like, that's like a good state right now for me. Like,
oh fuck, man.
I know.
That's
my daughter was the same way, man. I was like taking her temperature when she'd wake up from sleeping and be like 104. I was like, god,
yeah.
Like,
see, as much as the flu sucks, I would prefer it to a hangover. Because people actually have to feel bad for you because you didn't inflict the flu on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't have to feel bad for you at all for a hangover.
No, you feel like at least when I have the flu, it's like, okay, like I've done nothing wrong here. I don't have to feel like a piece of shit, you know. All of my responsibilities are temporarily put on pause. It's not like, oh, you know, I feel like shit, but I still have to do all this stuff that I said I would do, and then I went out and got wasted like a degenerate last night.
Yeah, you can't cancel dinner plans with your in-laws for a hangover.
No, but you can. It's just
you'll be right on the asshole.
I remember one time. It's literally exactly what you just said. We went and like I had a nasty hangover. Like, I don't even know what was wrong with me or why it was so bad. But it was like sitting down in the shower hangover. Like
Oh,
we've all
God,
been
dude.
there. Like I know I'm not the only one that does that because I say that and people are like, "Yep, I get it." Like
I only had that one time, actually twice. I only had that twice, and both of them were when I was a minor.
I can count them on one hand, but I've had them, and dude, it is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Those sitting down in the shower hangovers. I'm just like, oh, but no. So we went over there and like we had steak, and like I love steak. That's my favorite meal, and I could not finish it just because my stomach was just insane. And this is like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. My stomach is just in pieces, and I'm just like, oh god. But yeah, man.
That's the kind of hangover where for some reason it just feels good to put one hand over your forehead.
Yep.
Like, you don't know why.
No.
It doesn't really do anything, but it just feels good to do. Like
Yeah,
this, like on the couch like this, like
yeah, exactly. You don't know why that helps. You find like weird ways to get comfortable and stuff. But no, you're right. The worst hangovers I had were when I was younger. Like I'll still get hangovers now, but it's just like you're running the mill. Yeah, I just feel kind of groggy all day.
Yeah.
But like the worst hangovers I ever got was when I was probably like 19, 20 years old, because it was like you're right at that point in life where it's like you kind of know what you're doing, but you're still a fucking retard with it. So like when you're mixing 7 different types of liquor, like what do you think is gonna happen?
You're chasing liquor with beers,
Yeah.
drinks, and like doing. Most people are like also drinking Fireball. That's why by the time you're like mid-20s, nobody wants to drink Fireball anymore.
Dude, the smell of cinnamon makes me want to puke.
Yeah,
Truly, I don't even remember. I'm not even going to name drop the people involved to save them from the embarrassment. But I remember we were sitting there going shot for shot one time, and you know these people. We were sitting there going shot for shot at one of their houses of Fireball, and it was like number 12, I think.
that's rough.
I was like, oh, I'm fine, and I stood up and I just fell over. It's like if you look back on just the stupid shit you did as a kid that probably should have got you killed, or at least in the hospital. It's like the human body is so much more resilient than we give it credit for.
I know, right? I've definitely had alcohol poisoning before.
Oh, same,
like,
same.
Definitely.
There have been times that. Sorry if you're listening, Mom. I probably should have gone to the ER. You know what I mean? And we've all been there. Like in my, I don't do that anymore. Like I can go out and have a good time and be responsible about it. You know what I mean? It's not like
I'm at the point now, close to 30, where if I throw up from drinking too much, I'm like, oh man, that was a bad night. Like,
I haven't thrown up. So the next morning or that night?
Either or, man. Like
I had one. I made the mistake of going out drinking when I wasn't feeling great. And like I had something to eat or something like that, and I threw up the next morning. But like genuine, like throwing up from drinking, I haven't done that in fucking like 6-7 years. Like,
I did that very recently when me and a friend killed an entire case of beer in his fridge.
Oh god, was it
that was like
beer? Like old beer that had been sitting there for a while.
It had been sitting there for a little while, but you know, it's more of the fact like we drank like 15 beers apiece. You know, like.
Well, beer gets you it's not even the alcohol, it's the carbonation that makes you want to puke with beer. That's what gets me.
Yeah, because I felt like beer makes me feel like drunk, but like I don't get like the spins or anything like if I'm drinking liquor. If I'm drinking liquor, yeah, dude, I get real jacked up.
You know what? I take it back. I did throw up in Vegas. Well, what happens there stays there, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't
so what
count.
happened, it wasn't even the fucking alcohol, man. I could have sat there and drank whiskey on the rocks all day and been fine, or beer or whatever. We were at a pool. We had a cabana at a pool for the afternoon. And the lady comes up to us, and Mia's little sister's out there. She's got one of those slushy things, and the waitress comes up. She's like, "What can I get you to drink?" And I go, "Can I get that, but with alcohol?" And she's like, "Do you want a regular or a large?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna be out here all fucking day. Just give me a large." No one told me the
Comes back
large.
with a fucking fish bowl.
And you'll see this when we go for my bachelor party. Do not get the large. The large was bigger than my fucking head, bro. Like it's seriously the size of this mic stand.
Yeah.
Fucking massive. And I had 2 of those, plus a margarita and a beer. So. That's what did me in. That was not oh god, man.
I can't. Yeah, mixing liquor too is always like a recipe for destruction
Yes.
too. For our younger listeners that might have just turned 21 yesterday, like
Please drink responsibly. No, and that's what people don't realize is different liquors do different things to your body. I don't think you realize that until you've had enough experience with it. Like, rum kind of chills me out. Tequila is what makes people like angry and fighting mad.
yeah, I get handsy on tequila. I turn into the "I love you, bro" guy with tequila.
With tequila, see, that's whiskey kind of gets me rowdy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't like. I don't get angry, but I get like fired up, and it's like a kick in the ass. I don't know. That's tequila. I don't drink a lot of tequila. I had some bad experiences with it when I was younger. Vodka is the one that gets me, turns me into "I love you, bro."
Vodka is the chill one for me. As me like melting into my seat. Type drunk, like
I mean, it's all just poison. It's all poison. It's just legalized poison, but it's not potent enough to kill you unless you have way too much of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
your body directly kill you.
Yeah, your body doesn't like it. That's why it tries to expel it. That's why you get hangovers, because your body's like, this shit's not supposed to be in me right now.
I've been cutting down on my drinking, like almost to the point where I barely have any anymore anyway, because of like I've been cutting fat so much, like that stops your body from doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, plus your fucking tolerance is probably about a fourth of what it was.
Probably, yeah. I haven't gone out drinking in 6 months, so you know.
Really?
Well, I guess a couple months ago was when I had that case incursion, but
yeah.
You know.
I don't drink near as much as I used to. We'll have like when I go out, like when we run our mic on Thursdays, I'll have a couple beers there. But nothing crazy. And then I will do like, usually like when I do That's Based, sometimes I'll have like a glass of whiskey, and then maybe once every other month I'll have a night where I go out. I'm too fucking old for it, man. I can't do that shit anymore.
I've tried to reserve getting really drunk for like special occasions, like a bachelor party. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that like is gonna be funny to remember. That's good. We got really drunk at. So
you've never been to Vegas, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so we're flying out. Okay, so we're gonna fly out Thursday evening, and then we're gonna leave Sunday morning. So it'll give us 3 nights there. So that's like the perfect amount of time, right? So I'm gonna give you some advice on Vegas, okay? There is no last call, so pace yourself. there is no like, oh, bars are closing, time to go. That doesn't happen. It's all 24/7.
Well, as long as the other people that are there that I know are going to be there aren't egging me on too much, because once I get like 2-3 drinks in me, as soon as the shit talking starts going, I'm like, fuck it, dude, 5 shots right fucking now.
Believe me, I know. That's the other thing about Vegas is we'll probably spend time on the new strip, not Fremont Street, because I am not a big fan of heroin and homeless people.
Not trying to pick up a stinky hooker.
No, I'm good. So the thing with that is on the new strip, the key is there's this little corner store like right across the street from MGM, right? And so like fucking if you go drink in the casinos or the bars, you're getting fucking raped. Like it's $9.50 for a beer. It's
God damn, that's
going
to a football game beer prices.
But I know, but there's these corner stores throughout the strip, and they sell like massive tall boys of like Bud Light and Coors Light and little shooters
like
and stuff.
The big gulps.
Yeah, dude, it's seriously, it's like a 20-ounce beer, and you can get it for like $2.50, and that's the key. And it's Vegas is open containers, so you can walk down the street with it as long as you're not making an ass out of yourself.
Nice.
So that's what you do is you hit those little corner stores up for all your drinking, and then you can gamble and shit in the casino and drinks. But yeah, so that's my only advice. Pace yourself. The 24/7 Taco Bell Cantina will be your best friend one night.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with like bad Mexican food, but like that's like the best thing for when you're really drunk.
When you've been drinking, man, there is nothing better than just half-ass Mexican food.
For here too, it's like Whataburger, man. Like the greasier it is, like I think like the best Omaha equivalent would maybe be like either Freddy's maybe, or like maybe what's the Culver's maybe?
Culver's, yeah. Culver's makes me
maybe.
feel like shit when I
Yeah, dude, that's like how you know it's gonna make you feel better. It's like you feel worse from the eating the
Yeah.
shitty fast food than you do from the hangover, and your body
Yeah.
like forgets or something.
Yeah, you trick your body. Yeah, dude, there is some food like it's so weird because it's like there's have you had the new Panera chicken sandwich?
No, there's not a Panera Bread here in El Paso, man. It sucks. I wish there was.
That is shitty because it's like one of the last places where you can you can like eat semi cheap but not feel like shit afterwards.
Yeah, I really like their soup bowls, man. Like
Yeah.
their bread bowls, like
Yeah, like their sandwiches, like grilled chicken sandwiches and stuff.
yeah.
So they have this new fried, like breaded chicken sandwich or whatever, and it's like, it's the Panera recipe or whatever. But when we got them a month ago, and it was so weird because I was expecting like the Popeyes or the KFC chicken sandwich or Chick-fil-A, where you just feel like you feel the diabetes coming on after you eat it, like you
Yeah.
feel your belt pressing in against your gut. Didn't get that at all. Like it felt like I just ate like a grilled chicken wrap. It was so fucking weird. The way
It literally feels like you've just smoked like your fourth social cigarette, and you're like, I probably shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
oh well.
That's another thing. Is like the social smoking thing. I used to have, Sean.
Yeah.
Sean smoked. I don't think he does as much.
Sean's the
anymore.
reason that every time I go do comedy, I always go get some cigarettes, man. Because one, I can't ever knock the fact that knock the assumption that he's gonna be there and he's gonna want cigarettes. And two, I like to smoke around comedians. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Sean, like every time we would go out, he would offer me a cigarette, and I'm fucking standing out there in the cold, and I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna stand out here like an idiot. Like I just look like the tag along. Give me one of those fucking things.
Yeah.
It's what's weird is like people that smoke them all day, every day, they don't feel anything. But I would have like one every 3 months. And it's like you can't get it out of your clothes, you can't get it out of your bed, you can't get it out of the taste out of your mouth. And after one cigarette, it's just so fucking weird to me.
I know when you don't smoke all the time, smoking like one or two or three of them like actually gives you a buzz. Like it's kind of cool.
I know. I've heard some comics who don't smoke, but they'll like before a show they'll have like a cigarette or a Black and Mild that supposedly gives them an edge or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it kind of calms me just a little bit, like but like not to the point where like smoking a joint or something would, because then I'm like gonna forget my material or some shit.
Yeah.
Start crowd playing too much,
dude. Fucking weed. I can't do weed anymore, man. I don't know. Have I told you this before?
I know that over the past like year or so, you've been dropping your cannabis consumption like by a lot.
I stopped completely right around like Thanksgiving of like right before Thanksgiving of 21, and I didn't have any after that because it just got to a point where it was like like beforehand 8 out of every 10 times I smoked it was a fun high, and 2 out of every 10 it was like a freak out, right? And it's smoking edibles, whatever. And like I'm like, you know what, that's cool, I'll play with those odds. But somewhere down the line, and I don't know what happened, something switched. And it was like 3 out of every 10 times it was a fun high, and 7 of them I was like fucking freaking out. And I'm like, this isn't worth it anymore. Like, why am I doing this if I'm not enjoying myself? So I stopped. And then it was probably about September of this year, Tim Locklear at a comedy thing was like, hey, he's like, try this. So I took a hit of it, and I hadn't smoked weed in almost a year, right? So I forgot how to smoke this shit. And I took a big old puff, and it came through my nose and everything. And I just saw Tim, and it's like, you're about to get fucked up when you feel it hitting you right as you hit it. You know what I mean?
When everything starts to sound like you're listening to it through a fucking like Tupperware container or something. Yeah, everything starts to go like hollow. Like you hear like a Saving Private Ryan like humming sound and like.
Yeah,
the guy who came was like, "You all right, man? You all right?"
Tim and Scott are sitting there laughing while I'm coughing up a lung, and I was like, "Hey." And I'm sitting there and I was getting a little paranoid and freak outy after a little bit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why I don't do this anymore. Okay, that was just the reminder I needed. Like, I just wanted to try it to see if I'd gotten over whatever the fuck was wrong with me, and it was like, nope, you're still like this. You're still something wrong with you.
Tim smokes like really strong weed though, so like I don't
Tim-
know.
Tim's a big stoner. So we need people like that.
Yeah, like usually if I'm smoking like just passing around a blunt or something, I will not get enough like THC in my system to get fucked up. But if I'm doing something ridiculous, like yeah, I will like get to the point where I'm Googling like how long will this high last. So
can you die from a marijuana?
Yeah,
overdose?
looking at yourself in the mirror, like this is just how it's gonna be. Like
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
like,
get used to this.
Stuck in this trance forever. Like, have you ever had like one of the Delta 8 edibles or whatever?
No, I haven't.
We bought one from the store, and it was like 100 milligrams, I think, 75 or 100, and it was a Rice Krispie treat. So I just ate it about 9 o'clock, right?
The entire thing,
whole thing, yeah. And
God
so
damn.
I ate it about 8 o'clock probably. And I'm like, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock goes around. I'm like, bro, I'm just sleepy. Like, I'm not high at all. I just want to go to bed. So we went to bed. About 7:30 the next morning, it was a weekend. 7:30 the next morning, I wake up thinking I'm having a fucking stroke. Like, everything's numb. I just feel like I'm out of it. And I'm like, what the hell? So I run into the bathroom, splashing water on my face. I'm like clenching my fists. I'm like, I got used to both arms. My face isn't drooping. Like, what's? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, I'm high.
That's why I don't like edibles, man. They take too damn long.
They're too unpredictable.
Yeah,
too
man.
unpredictable.
Sometimes I kick in an hour, sometimes I kick in 6, and you're like going to work, and you're like, uh-oh.
Do you remember when we did that episode? And I was still high on edibles from the night before.
Yes.
It was funny because we interviewed. It was like a serious interview. It was like with a senator and a lawyer, and it was like about the medicinal marijuana bill. And here I was so high I couldn't even get a sentence out. I was talking to her. I was like, "So do you think that the bill could?" I don't know what I was gonna
say. Your high voice is really funny too, Caleb, because it sounds like a radio DJ. It's like, today we're going to bring on the 80s hits. And it's like very calm and collected. Like
what's the NPR? The NPR.
Yeah, you have the NPR voice and you got
high. Yeah. I bet cocaine would give me like the conservative talk radio DJ voice. Come on, you dum-a-dum!
Cocaine would probably like basically turn you into like Alex Jones, I think. Like every conspiracy theory that might have like a fucking lick of like a potential to it, like is automatically true. Then, like,
speaking of which, did you see his interview with Kanye?
Oh yes, I did, man. The memes that have been coming from it are hilarious. I'm sad to see Kanye has turned into a Nazi.
I know. Dude, it was. I think Steven Crowder said it. He was like, because I said it on my show, and then I heard Steven Crowder say it like the next day. I'm like, God damn it! But no, it was perfect the way he worded it. He said, Kanye West made Alex Jones feel like Alex Jones makes everyone else feel when he's on their show.
I know, right?
It was the perfect.
Tim Pool just leave after like Tim Pool gave him just a little bit of kickback.
It wasn't even pushback. He just asked him a question. He just said, "Who's they? Like who are the Jews?" And he stormed off. Yeah, no, and that's exactly. I think Tim Pool. That was the perfect example of it because he didn't. That's how you beat stupid ideas like that. Is you don't try to shut them down because when you shut people down and you just try to silence people when they have bad ideas, that lends credibility to it. It's like, well, why do you want to shut him down? What are you so scared of what he has to say?
Kanye West
just ask him simple questions that they can't answer, like Tim Pool did, and you see it fall apart like a house of cards. That's the way you deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah, Kanye West is the perfect example of exactly that. Like, that bad ideas just need sunlight to go away. Because, like, imagine if he just had not been brought on to any TV shows or any podcasts or anything, then there probably would have been a small contingent of people that were like, oh, you know what Kanye's saying actually has a little bit of truth to it. Like,
well, when they shut him down, like when he got his bank account shut down, they kicked him off socials, he got fired from all his record labels and all his sponsorships, you had a lot of people kind of going, huh. You know, he said this group of people runs all these industries, and then they kick him out of all these industries. So, like, I wonder what's going on here.
Just how it is, man.
It's the same question.
It's the same way if he would have said the entire industry is run by Asians or something. You know what I mean? I think just the way that culture is right now, you can't You can't say anything like that, and I'm not saying that that's true, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't say, hey, I can't. The only thing you really can say is that rich old white men rule everything, really.
Yeah.
That's really all
rich
you
old
can
Jewish white men.
say.
But no,
like,
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much that's pretty much the truth. That's really the only thing you can get away with saying. But I mean, it's just bad ideas. Like if you're confident enough in your beliefs, you should be willing to just debate or at least dispute those ideas in a public forum, because it exposes people when it falls apart and they can't defend it in public. That's going to do way more to dissuade people and push them away from that bad idea than just silencing them will.
Yeah, if Alex Jones wouldn't have gotten kicked off of like all the platforms, he probably wouldn't be running any shows right now.
He wouldn't be near as popular. No.
He wouldn't. I don't think he would be running any shows right now because like he would have had all that publicity and people would have started tuning into him and be like, this guy's like not sane.
I mean,
he throws a fucking blind knife at the dartboard, like fucking, and hits something, like, you know,
or he takes stuff with a
a
grain
while.
of truth and runs with it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is with Alex Jones, it's the same thing. Like they, instead of just kicking him off, they should have just had him come on and be like, okay, defend this, like defend this stuff, you know, like the Sandy Hook thing or the pizza or whatever. Like just defend it. And
they could have had. Well, look at what they did with the trials. They had the Sandy Hook victims, like families, come on there and be like, "You're really going to tell me
alleged families?"
Pretty sure the trials, like, we're not going to get sued at all for that, considering the trials ruling with Alex Jones. So.
Oh, I fuck around. It's a comedy show. I had someone yell at me. Or Scott went on stage first and said something about we canceled or we didn't cancel any shows during COVID and all this stuff. And then I went on and I was like, of course we didn't cancel any shows during COVID. I'm not going to cancel something for a hoax, for something that's fucking fake. It's like canceling a show because I'm worried Bigfoot's going to show up here or the Sandy Hook kids. Speaking of comedy, bro. So I did a show. I got paid to do a private party this week, excuse me. Days are all kind of meshed together now. But I got paid to do a private event, and it was this annual this like monthly meeting of these like pilots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like anything from ex-military pilots, like corporate airline pilots, guys that fly for like UPS or the post office, or just like people that have like an airplane and just fly for fun kind of thing.
Right? Helicopter guys, or were they all airplane guys?
Some did there were some helicopter guys like from the Army and stuff, and so it was just it was a whole group of people that just flew different things. And so I went on, and they had reached out to me, and it was a really good set. It was a little bit of an older crowd, so like the pop culture stuff didn't land the way I wanted it to, but it's fine. But so they were everything I said they laughed at, except one joke. One joke did not land.
Was it the 9/11 joke?
No, I didn't even do. As soon as this one didn't land, I didn't even bother with the 9/11.
That was wise of you. I don't think pilots sort of like realistically take it too kind to that.
Well, it was. I got to the sports jokes, and I told the Magic Johnson bit or whatever. I'm like, well, I'm glad you guys like sports. You know, sometimes sports jokes do well, and other times they land about as smoothly as Kobe. Fucking crickets.
Oh my god, dude.
Crickets. But I it was like one of those things. It's like foot in mouth. It was like right as I was saying it, I'm like, oh, I'm saying this in a room full of pilots, but it was too late. I'm like, I'm gonna sound even worse if I stop, right? So I said it. It was quiet. I was like, yeah, probably not the best thing to say in a room full of pilots, huh? And they all just started laughing. They were good sports about it, but yeah,
that's funny.
I was talking with Monty about it. He's like, do you think that they're not laughing because they're like ashamed of him? They're like, I could have done it better than that fucking pussy.
Probably, man.
Like, do you think like pilots like look down on the 9/11 pilots? Like, I would whoop that terrorist ass, man.
That's like a fucking like bad scar on their record. They're like, oh man, it hurts too much. Like,
fucking idiots. I wouldn't have hit the Pentagon. You kidding me?
I would have fucking punched him right in the face, dude.
Yeah, like, I would have kicked his ass. Oh god, that's fucking. So speaking of plane crashes, I watched. Have you seen The Boys?
Yes, I have seen The Boys.
Well, I
yeah.
watched it on the flight to Phoenix, and I already have a fear of flying, so that plane ride episode was great. Where Homelander leaves the people.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen all
There's
3
another
seasons?
episode of that where he like downs a private plane. Like
I watched that one on it too. Yeah. Have you
I
seen
always
all
laugh at like that. Like, of course, it's Amazon with Jeff Bezos is like the guy running it that has these like shows that depict the superhero as like the evil bad guy. You know what I mean? Like Lex Luthor is like, yeah, making Superman seem the bad guy. Like, because Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor in real life.
He is. He looks like him. He's like Jack too. But dude, that's like I watched it because I wanted something to watch on the plane, but I was like hooked, bro. Like I've seen the whole thing now. That's seriously, and I'm not a Marvel fan. That's better than anything Marvel and DC have done in the last decade. Like that show is fucking good. It's
good.
But it's enough satire. Like you can tell they're making fun of real people and real events and shit. But at the same time, it's like got a serious plot line to it, and it mixes in really well, and all the actors play their roles really well. And Homelander's just despicable. Like,
yeah, he's a total douche. Like, yeah,
but it is. It's more realistic if you think about it. Like, if these heroes are superhuman, they're gonna be human. That's the key word in it. So, like, they're not saving people like Captain America just to be altruistic. They're doing it for like money and power and fame.
Yeah, I like that show's version of Captain America too.
Soldier Boy?
Soldier Boy, yeah. Soldier Boy's awesome. He just calls everybody a cunt all the time. Like,
such a douche.
Yeah, he's great.
Soldier Boy. And then fucking, that's a really good show, man. I got hooked on it, and it's like why have I not been watching this?
That animated show on Amazon called Invincible is really good too. Kind of is like along the same lines of that.
Yeah.
But, it's like it's animated, and it's more of like that the guy who is that version of Homelander is the only douche in the whole story. But that's a really good story too.
Yeah,
and it's like they've got like 1 season out of it, but 10 episodes, so
it's on Amazon.
Easy to watch.
I'll have to check that out too. Yeah, no, but I just I got into it, and I'm like, fuck, I wonder if anyone I know's seen it. But yeah, it's like really good, and it's more realistic because it's about like the collateral damage and stuff. Like because you see the Avengers, like they save the town, but they destroy the entire city in the process.
It's like the Superman movie where the beginning of the Batman movie is like, it's like the fucking Metropolis has been destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, did he really save us? Like, yeehaw,
It's like that episode of SpongeBob with the butterfly. It's like, we did it, Patrick. We saved the town.
City. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, they ever talk about like the collateral damage and shit from the superheroes. And they just expect the taxpayers, to pick up the dime when they destroy the city. Oh, but like the boys, they'll like destroy shit over like a bank robbery. You know what I mean? Like there's like millions of dollars.
I've always thought in a world with superpowers, like it would just make more sense to be like a supervillain, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like nobody's really gonna want you to be a superhero, and
right.
But if you get like too much notoriety, they'll like come after you. So like a subtle guy, like
yeah, dude. That's why I tell anyone, any superpower. You answer this next, but any superpower, I would do time travel, and I wouldn't do anything exciting with it. I would go back the day before and bet on sporting events. That's it. That's all I would do, and I would make a bunch of money.
I would do telepathy. I would do mind reading.
I feel like I have OCD, and I feel like I would find things out that I didn't want to know. You know what I mean?
I'd either do mind reading or invisibility, because you could make a lot of money with invisibility, dude. Like,
yeah, but think about mind reading. Yeah, that's it. Mind reading. You could be like the greatest poker player in the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, a football coach or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're like a defensive coordinator, making the NFL. Like
they have the perfect play for everything. You're the kid that looks at the playbook in Madden.
Yeah, like I know exactly what he's running. He's running B right there. All right.
Yeah, Oh, I used to have a friend that would do that. I wanted to fucking strangle him. Look at my plays and then like when they finally switched it to where you had to like press a button instead of just select the individual play, he would like look at my fingers on the controller and shit. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit.
Scumbag, dude.
Man, like I'm sure he's a convicted rapist now.
I played a lot of Madden online, and they don't show the plays, but like when you play online, people do stuff that's really, really annoying, like run the same play over and over again because the way the code works, like it's unstoppable.
Yeah,
and stuff like
fake punt pass used to do that in the old ones.
Dude, I know, like, when the Madden, like, 17 or whatever, which was, like, Mahomes, like, breakout season, everybody would just play the Chiefs and run, like, the verticals and just bomb a pass down Tyreek Hill 4 times, and they would eventually, like, score, dude. It was so stupid.
Well, my brother, because, there's always one play that's, like, a glitch, right? And my brother figured out one year it was screen, and that's all he ran. He ran screen, like, 75 times in a game. And my defense couldn't stop it. One time it was fake punt pass. It was just like, I don't know. There's always
one year I was playing, and like some guy was playing the Cowboys, and all he did was run the toss, like, a toss run to Zeke.
Yeah.
And like he would just run for like 15 yards every time. Like he doesn't stop it. I'm like, how? How is this a thing? Like
we used to play with this. I used to have this friend in like middle school that he would do the same. He would do the pitch play, but instead of running forward, he would just keep cutting it back. And I don't know if stamina was off or what, but he would cut it back like 75 yards until your whole defense just over pursued and then burned you for a touchdown. You know what I mean? It was fucking annoying. So
there's a lot of people out there that really don't like the Madden series and like kind of hate that EA has the
monopoly.
Yeah, they have a monopoly on the NFL like franchises. So
it's gotten better. NCAA is coming back this summer.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm glad for that, man.
I feel like it's gonna be a disaster. I feel like it's gonna be a disappointment.
Maybe, but like I don't know, if you can bring your guy, like in the old ones where you can bring your guy through the 4 years in college and bring him into the pros, that'll do enough for me, man. Like
well, NIL's you're gonna have like actual rosters and shit because of NIL and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
They say it's gonna be the most realistic sporting game yet. So I don't know, maybe you can do like a My Coach mode as Scott Frost where you just get obliterated and piss off your responsibilities.
And then Alabama can go like fucking 7-5 or whatever, and then still make the playoffs.
Yeah, 5-7 Alabama's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's the most realistic college football game ever. Yeah, if you're Ohio State, every couple of years your coach has to resign because there's some new scandal with like players cheating or something like that.
This year they were blood doping.
Oh my God!
So realistic. That hasn't even happened yet. But you know what? Let's put that on the board. It might.
That's a new one. I remember that in the old NCAA games, you used to do like dynasty mode and shit, and you could discipline, like your players would get in trouble, and you like discipline them. And I had one like it was like legit like fights and stuff like that, like arrested and stuff, and I would like suspend guys for like a quarter. It was players getting in trouble all the time. We were just the bad boys of college football. So
it was like the real life equivalent of that. I don't think it's
Miami.
Miami, yeah,
probably Miami. Back in the day, maybe not anymore. Ohio State might be.
Who was the? Yeah, I'm trying to think of teams that have like recently gotten in trouble for that kind of stuff.
Well, Baylor was bad because Baylor, before Matt Rule, who's now at Nebraska, took over, like their coach was covering up rape. Like that's like when Matt, like everyone's talking about how Matt Rule at Nebraska, his first year at Baylor, he was 1-11. I'm like, well, yeah, because the sanctions stripped them of 40 scholarships, almost their entire recruiting class decommitted, because the previous coach was covering up sexual assault.
Yeah, like, that's pretty rough.
Literally the only thing he could have done worse was like the Paterno at Penn State thing.
That's pretty bad. Like
it's just pure evil, the Paterno thing.
Yeah, the Sandusky thing.
Oh, for God's sake, man!
Yeah,
you know that shit went deeper than they told us it did. Like, you know that it had to have.
At least people covering it for it, but I know like a lot of people got fired for that.
Oh yeah, a lot of people got fired, but like
Sandusky went to jail for it too.
There were rumblings that like they were being pimped out to the border regions and stuff. It was, and dude, the whole thing, they knew it was a big joke. Like with Sandusky, it was a big joke at the university. Like they had his autobiography was called Touched. His fucking he had an ice cream dish. All the coaches had like desserts in the cafeteria, and he had an ice cream dish called the Sandusky Special. It was 2 scoops of ice cream with a banana in the middle, like a dick and ball. Like it was like they knew, and they just kind of like rolled with it. It was fucked up, man.
Yeah, I know. I have friends from Philly that have like talked to me about that because Penn State's kind of like the Pennsylvania school, kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like telling me about how like crazy like all that was for the whole state and everything. I'm like, man, imagine like that's the whole thing that happened with Scott Frost in Nebraska. Like, doesn't even compare slightly
Nothing.
to that.
No.
And like even the whole state was up in roar about it.
Yeah. Well, unlike them, we didn't riot and burn shit down when they fired our degenerate coach. Like that. That was with Penn State when they fired Paterno. They fucking rioted. I'm like, are you kidding me? To defend a dude that covered up child rape? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
Yeah, right.
Like, that's like one of the worst things you can do, and he covered it up. Like, but yeah, no, Frost was, oh god, what a I don't know how much of that you heard, but
I heard enough of it. I knew some of the stuff, the worst stuff that was going on, and I'm like, I think Matt Rule's probably a better fit. Matt Rule seems to be a program builder since we've kind of lost our culture, and I don't know, like him. A lot of people were talking about him going to not really being able to do anything at the Panthers, but it's like
neither did Nick Saban, or
yeah, but also like he kind of got dealt a really shitty hand there, man. Like as soon as he took over that program or that franchise, Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, so it's like
South,
they basically locked the South the whole time, and like
and not just that, but he wasn't the GM, is what people don't realize. And when you're in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win, man. Like you can't win games if you don't have a legitimate quarterback, and they didn't. They had
a roster that was built around Cam Newton.
Yep, and then he left.
Then he left like the next year.
Yeah,
and then they couldn't get it figured out at quarterback. It's like, man, like he basically got dealt a losing hand. And it's
they couldn't get it figured out at quarterback, and they had so much money invested in their running back that was constantly hurt. That there was they couldn't put any other weapons around anybody they did bring in. So I mean, there's so much. That's why you see coaches that don't do well in college or in the NFL do fine in college. There's so many factors like salary cap, GMs. You don't have as much control over who your
just player control because those pros are adults, man.
Yeah, and you're dealing with 35-year-old guys that are multimillionaires as compared to college kids. So there's a huge difference in the type of people you have to interact with. And it's not for everybody. There's plenty of coaches that fell on their face in the NFL and did great in college. So.
Yeah, like Bill Callahan.
Well, Bill Callahan. Billy C. Hey, I bet Nebraska fans would fucking kill to have Billy C.
Honestly, Bill Callahan didn't even do that bad as a Nebraska.
28-20.
We were at least making bowl games and stuff.
Compare it to the golden boy Scott Frost, and Billy C looks like fucking Tom Osborne.
Yeah, not only that, but he went up to the pros and like built. He's a very good like offensive line coach and
probably the best ever. Like that's the thing is fucking. Nebraska
we built that Dallas Cowboys line and that Washington, formerly known as the Redskins, O-line, dude. Yeah, the Washington's O-line is really good, man.
Yeah. Oh, everywhere now he's in Cleveland. The guy's a paid gun, man. Everywhere he goes, he just builds up offensive lines. So he's great at what he does. He's just didn't work out as a college head coach. Honestly, by the standards we're at right now, he would have been a great coach.
I'd take probably, man.
Frost any day, man.
I would take. Honestly, at this point, I'd take Bo Pelini over Frost, man.
Easy. I take Riley over Frost.
Bo Pelini came and took us to a bowl game his first year, didn't he?
I take Riley over Frost, man.
Oh God, not Mike Riley, dude. At least Mike Riley, like we were losing seasons, and then also he was like such a fucking lame ass. Like
I know,
like I was embarrassed about our program then.
It was bad, but I mean, fucking drunk Frost ain't no better. So
yeah.
All right, should we wrap this up? It's late. I know you're sick. I'm sick. We should probably peace out. You got anything you want to plug?
Not today.
No. Yeah, my show that's based Outlaw Streamers, Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeart. Caleb Isn't Funny, Twitter and Instagram. Caleb Salvatore Comedy, TikTok. You know the drill. You already know how we do the thing. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We got new shit coming for you. We're back. Life's just been hectic. It is what it is. Piss off. I don't really care if y'all are mad at us. So I'm fucking with you.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.